This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. Deja vu. Pacers versus Knicks. Knicks versus Pacers. Unlike last year, the Knicks are in their Eastern Conference Finals. Will they get past the Pacers? Let's analyze. So, the Knicks sent the Celtics packing on Friday, and they punched their ticket, and they host the Indiana Pacers on Wednesday. And when I, started thinking about the series and everything like that, I'm like, if the Knicks play like they played on Friday and they play focused and dialed in, can they beat the Pacers? Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course they can. And, my cuz, she hit me up, texted me, can the Knicks, and a few people actually, do you think the Knicks can get past the Pacers? I'm like, absolutely. Tim, shout out to you. Can the Knicks get past these Pacers? They've been hot. They've been playing well. Absolutely. But I am going to say something, and unless you're a Pacers fan, you might say, oh, there you go, hating on the Pacers. Look, listen, congratulations. Look, Tyrese Haliburton, who was called overrated, I don't think that's the case at all. So, and the Pacers, congratulations to them for handling the number one seed in the Cleveland Cavaliers 4-1. Now, I'm going to say something. Cover your ears, Pacers fans. Some Knicks fans might say you're bugging. But you already know, I say the Knicks, can beat the Pacers, will beat the Pacers. And I think the Knicks, my question is not only can the Knicks beat the Pacers, but will the Pacers get a game? Now, hear me out. Now that you've heard me ask this question. This is the same Pacers team, when it comes to personnel-wise as last year, right? Now, you want to say that, Benedict Mathurin, shout out to my fellow Haitian. He's a year older in the NBA, and he was a rookie, and you've got guys who are, Andrew Nimhard, who was a guy that I wanted on the Knicks. What was he, from Gonzaga? But that, I wanted the Knicks to go after him. And then you've got the obviously Obi Toppin, Naismith, and Pascal Siakam. This team is a loaded team. They're very talented, no question about it. But the Knicks almost got rid of them in 5, y'all. The Knicks almost got rid of them in 5 without a Julius Randle, who had a shoulder injury, with an OG Anunoby, who was about to, you saw the Super Saiyan, the ascendance of OG Anunoby, where he was about to drop 40 on them in, I want to say it was game 5 in the Garden. And then Brunson, you found out that he hurt his foot, and Josh Hart on his on their podcast, he made fun of Jalen Brunson. I can't feel my foot, and Jalen Brunson had his Willis Reed when he came back, and everybody started shouting MVP, and the Pacers had no answer for Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was beat up. He had no one. He had everybody. Everybody was hurt. Josh Hart had a rib injury or a stomach pull or some injury. And the Knicks ended up going to 7, y'all. Now, enter Mikal Bridges. Enter Karl Anthony Towns. Seriously? Enter Captain Clutch. I asked this question, and I'm dead serious. Really think about it. The Knicks were hurt last year, and I get it. It's a totally different year. but the Knicks were hurt. And in game 7 had absolutely nothing left for the Pacers. And they styled on the Knicks, danced, basically did whatever, and eliminated the Knicks. I think they blew the Knicks out by like 20 points in the Garden in game 7. So, and I heard the interviews, with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart. This is not a revenge game. Yeah, it's not. Quietly, though. You don't think the Knicks have that on the bulletin board? This is the team that took us out last year. This is the team that got in our way last year. You don't think so? And I get it. I get it that the Villanova guys, whether it's Bridges, Brunson, Hart, they're cool with Tyrese Haliburton. Supposedly he's in their group chat since the Olympics and all of that. But I'm hearing people, this is going to be a great series. This is going to 7. And I get it. Listen, I gave them their credit. They took out the Cleveland Cavaliers, who I always thought were a paper number 1 team in a sense of when it matters, when you start playing physical, they're not what the record says they are, right? Remember going into these playoffs, the Knicks are 0-11 against top teams. And enter Mitch Robinson, by the way. A healthy Mitchell Robinson, another guy who was hurt in that series. I think, and look, listen, they can shoot. They're a high-octane offense, no question about it. But with Mikal Bridges, with a healthy OG Anunoby, with a healthy Josh Hart, and there's something that I'm seeing that the Knicks do now that they did not do last year. You had Nembhard and Aaron Naismith. They pressured and were physical with Brunson the whole series. And Brunson always had to bring the ball up the court. I don't know if you realized, but at the beginning of this year, you started seeing Josh Hart bring the ball up. In these playoffs, you're seeing a little bit of Mikal Bridges bring the ball up. I think that's by design. That's not an accident. That is because the Pacers showed we are going to wear Jalen Brunson down whenever he brings the ball up. By the time he brings the ball up, they've been so physical with him. I mean, this guy has nothing left. Now you've got a guy in Karl Anthony Towns, by the way, who I don't think they have no answer for him. They have no Turner. Come on. Now you're going to try to press Jalen Brunson now? With what OG is doing offensively, Mikal Bridges is doing offensively? Really? Come on now. I get that the Pacers eliminated the Cavs. Much respect. But they may not get a game, y'all. I'm serious. Now, the NBA likely is not going to like that, so the rest will come in, and hence this will go 5, possibly 6. But I think this has potential to be a wash. I think the West has a potential to be a 7-game series between OKC and the Timberwolves. By the way, of the Final 4, a former Knick is going to get a ring. Shout out Leon Rose, part of the Leon Rose tree. Whether it's Randall, Obi, Isaiah Hartenstein, or it's going to be JB, and hopefully it's the New York Knicks. But seriously, y'all, I think Jalen Brunson is the best player left in these of the Final 4. People might say Ant-Man. Okay, you can say Ant-Man. You can't go wrong with that. OKC will say Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can't go wrong. Indiana will say it's Haliburton. But in the clutch of the 4, I'm taking Brunson, and then I'm taking Ant-Man. That's just what I'm doing. But what do you guys think? Am I selling the Pacers short? Which again, I no disrespect to the Pacers. I'm just saying, you guys went to a game 7 with an injured Knicks team. You guys should have been done in 5. You guys could have been done in 5. What do you think is going to happen to you now when you play this team? Now, get it. Pacers have they play their bench and everything like that. But what? Come on now. I'm telling you, If the NBA and the officials don't step in and let the games play out, do the Pacers get a game? Let me know in the comments. Now it's that time. The 49ers are opening their piggy bank. Yes, they are. They gave Brock Purdy the bag a few days ago, and now Fred Warner reaches a 3-year, $63 million extension. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, folks. I am on most social media platforms at SamIAnalyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, à tout à l'heure.